Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Saka, and we're back for more Daiteikoku. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the second episode, and we'll jump right and started into the battle mechanics of Daiteikoku. So this is one of the more complicated aspects of this game that like kind of how to play out the battle. So first of all, let me introduce you to the strategy phase of the battle phase itself. So let's just start from the top of the screen and move downwards. So as you can see on the top left, you can see the invasion Beijing. It'll tell you the name of the planet you are currently invading, and here it'll say no relocation, can't relocate an admiral after battle. I don't really know what this means or what it's for, but I mean I just ignored it always, so I don't really care about this. The condition. You will need to have an English patch for this in order to read this in English. I have a partial English translation, but it's not really up to date. In fact, it's like 5 months old, so I don't really know how old. Actually, it's not 5 months old. It's quite old comparatively. So there's a much more recent English patch out there on the translation website, but I'm not too sure what it is right now. But whatever. I've had this patch, so I can read this in English. So condition. All battles in any planet will have a kind of environmental condition. In this case, it's sunny, so normal weather, no effects. There will be very, very weird weather effects, such as other like dust, blackout, something like weather conditions along those lines. They can really turn the favor for you, but most of the time they're really gonna hurt you. So you have to know what kind of weather condition you're running into, and so that you can prepare your fleets accordingly. In this case, we're lucky because it's just sunny, normal weather, no effects, so we don't have to worry about the weather just bothering us. Funny that there's weather in space. Scientifically speaking, there's no weather in space, but whatever. Games don't really have to be scientifically accurate. Anyways. So now that we don't have to worry about the weather, let's divert your attention up to here. Now this is the battle phase. You have three kind of turns in order to win the battle. If you do not win the battle within 3 turns, you might as well start the game over, or at least from your last save slot. Because if you try to invade here, like if I were to click on this icon right now, which I'll get into a second what it does, you will just lose outright and it'll give you a game over. That's not what you're supposed to do. So you have 3 chances to fill up this bar with stars. If you do fill up this stars or this bar below up to at least the first yellow box, then that means you can conquer the planet anytime you would like. Basically, this bar right here basically denotes the number of turns that you have in order to win the battle. Basically, like I said, but there is a catch to this. You'll only get 3 turns. I repeat, you will only get 3 turns if the adjacent if the planet that you're attacking from has full public peace. If it does not have full public peace, I'll explain what public peace is later, but if you do not have full public peace, that means you'll only have 2 turns to attack. So please keep that in mind. That third attack may or may not make or break the battle for you. So moving on to the top right corner of the screen, this icon basically you can click on. That's when you can only click on this, or you can click on it anytime you like technically, but you should only click on this once you have filled up this bar up to 8. And I'll explain what this bar is in a second here. But basically this is to win the battle. Once you have sufficiently met the requirements to win this battle, you can click on this planet anytime you like in order to officially win the battle. So I'll explain what that does in a second after I actually win the battle. So these are the battle zones. Each planet can have up to 4 battle zones. In this case, it only has 2, so it's pretty easy. And each battle zone has its own unique characteristics. For example, this battle zone has 3 commanders, and next to it, it has 10 stars. These are the stars that you must win, or you must earn to fill up this bar. So that means that you need to get at least 80 stars in order to capture this planet and thereby win the battle. Let's see. Each battle zone can have up to 4 commanders, or these 4 admirals. Not commanders, admirals, because they're all navy ships for whatever reason. And it applies same to you. You can only send up to 4 commanders or generals or admirals. God damn it, admirals. You can only send up to 4 admirals per battle zone. And later on, when you have a lot more commanders and a lot more battle zones to deal with, you're really going to have to decide what the best way to split up your commanders is. So you have to really think about your battles beforehand. Now moving on to this secondary battle zone, this is not required. As you can see, it has no stars next to it. But instead, if you do wipe out the commanders of this battle zone, you get to win plus 1,000 resources. So it's kind of like an incentive to kind of take over this battle zone as well. Although for these kinds of rewards per se, you must annihilate all their fleets. You must annihilate all their commanders in order to obtain this bonus that they guard. For example, on the other hand, for this battle zone, these stars depend on how well you perform in this battle. So it's not like this where you have to annihilate all the enemy commanders. In fact, it's like Sengoku Rants where you don't really have to annihilate all the admirals in this battle zone. In fact, you can just reduce them all down to 1 HP and get enough stars that way in order to win the battle. But you must at least damage them somewhat, and destroying all of them will allow you to obtain all the stars in the battle zone. So let's say, for example, if only one commander at like 1 HP on your side manages to win the battle zone, he or she will obtain all the stars in that battle zone. Same goes for the enemy. If one enemy admiral stands with like 1 HP, but all your commanders are dead, that means that you will get no stars. So it's kind of like Sengoku Rants where it's lose all or take all in that kind of sense. So now I've explained all this, let's get right into basically the complexion of the war is what this game likes to call it. Basically, this is like the battle morale meter in Sengoku Rants. You must fill up this bar up to at least 8 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 8 stars in order to win the battle. As you can see, this is the amount of stars you can have to lose is 7. But after that, any star you obtain, you can win the battle. So now let's get into the actual kind of deployment of commanders. So you don't really actually start the battle until you click this button, but you can't click this button because you haven't deployed any commanders yet. This is how you deploy commanders. So you click on each individual battlefield here in order to compare the stats. Who can you beat with your available amount of commanders? And also one thing to note, it's kind of interesting but it's not really important, but if you have less than, or if you have like I think less than 8 commanders, or 8 commanders or less, you can see all their character portraits on your side. If you have more than 8, then the game will randomly choose maybe your 8 most important admirals, or your 8 strongest, or just maybe 8 in general, or 8 in random, and just put them in this on this side. Also, Rikuri, who's the, like I mentioned, who is the general or the commander of the ground-based Japanese forces that actually go into the planet to take over the planet for you, is always going to be present at every single battle. So no matter how many battles you have in one turn, she's always going to be there because she's the sole leader of the Japanese shock troopers that actually go down to the planet and conquer it. Kind of funny, but whatever. So let's actually get into deploying them. So because this is the main battlefield, I'm going to deploy Togo Tsuyoshi because he's the most important. He's the strongest. And let's see here. They're not very strong, understandably so. Partly it's due to the fact that my commanders are very strong as well, are stronger than they should be as well. So let's see. We'll send Nagumo Keiko over there. And we'll probably send Tanaka Raizo over there too. So we'll see what that does. And we'll just send these two over here as well. And now that you've actually deployed all your commanders to their respective battlefields, you can now click on this button, which basically means start the battle. So we shall start the battle. Now you can see here the initial battle opening is actually very detailed. You can see all your you can see the enemy commanders on your right, and all your friendly ally commanders on your left. Now this is the core defining characteristic of the battle system in Daiteikoku. Here, because radar is so important, because she is the fastest among any of the commanders in this battlefield, she will start first. And now I can choose which commander to attack. So on the side, you can see these red tags here, and it basically means one hit KO. If I can't one hit KO them, it'll either say damage, which basically means like a green tag that says damage. Basically, it means that I can damage them but not kill them outright. And also, it might say no damage, which means that no matter how many, at my current weapon level, I cannot damage them because of the fact that maybe environmental conditions may be unfavorable, or what is it? Or maybe the enemy commander may have some sort of anti-weapon defense or something like that. Sorry about that. So we'll just go ahead and annihilate these enemy commanders. So this is basically battle animation. Also, one thing to note, that if you only damage an enemy fleet, their weapon system is still fully operational. So no matter how damaged they are, even if they're at 1 HP, they will still deal the same amount of damage as their weapon system, as their stats will say. Unlike Sengoku Rance, where your army tab is highly dependent on how many troops you currently have. So let's start by annihilating these guys. Now let's move on to the next battlefield. So it's just a pre-battle event with Tanaka Raizo here. Let's see. So up top, you will see that there is also another battle order. It'll basically show you which commanders are coming in first, so you don't have to look at every single radar speed and determine who's faster and who's gonna come in or not. So as you can see, the guy with 54 lasers is going to come after Togo Tsuyoshi. So I'm going to attack this guy. As you can see, all battlefield effects will come up as they're with a little ping sound, and that basically means that battlefield effect, in which case it was Tsuyoshi's passive skill called Great Tactician, which gives everyone in the same battle zone 10%. Also, note about the same battlefield thing, only Tanaka Raizo and Nagumi Keiko and Tsuyoshi himself will receive that bonus. As you noticed before in the previous battlefield, Ozawa, Matsuri, and who was that old man? Mugen. The old man Mugen did not receive that 10% bonus. That is because they were technically in a different battle zone than Tsuyoshi was in. So only these three will receive the 10% bonus. So now as you can see, with the 10% bonus, I can just barely annihilate this guy. 10% of 90 is 9, so add that to 90, and it'll give us just barely 99. So this is why Togo Tsuyoshi's passive skill can come in very handy at times. Because maybe that passive skill bonus is the difference between annihilating your enemy commander instead of just outright losing the battle. So if you guys could follow. Boom. Bam. So as you can see, this is basically the event where they have to talk about you have to actually physically click on this planet in order to conquer it. So as you can see, I annihilated all the commanders in this battlefield, and I thus get all their stars. Also, it would be best if you did not suffer any damage at all. If you can suffer the least amount of damage possible, preferably none at all, then it is the best outcome you can ever ask for. Now that I've annihilated everyone, there's no other choice but to invade. So that is basically the conquering animation of the battle. So you can see here's the after game report, and you can see all commanders in this game have experience, as you can see with the red highlight right there. Basically all of them have that much experience. Basically it's like experience up to 1000. Once you hit 1000 experience, you level up. Everyone's at level 0 at this current moment in time, but it gets progressively harder and harder to rank up, and the maximum level that any commander can achieve is 10. Some commanders start with 10 level at level 10, but most of them start out at level 0. And with each level up, all your bonuses will increase by a set number of points, or set number of percentage points. So ranking up, it means a lot in this game. As you can see on the left hand side, you can see the battlefield bonuses that I have acquired. And remember that 1000 resource battle that I had fought? That's why this is here. Now this is where I was talking about like each planet having structures. This is where you can select your construction. So here it's only got 2 available. You can either choose a quarry or a market. Market will be available in every single planet, and basically it'll give you a new kind of fish ship. It's just what we like to call like those weird animal looking ships that you can attach to your fleet, and they'll do damage for you. That's basically what this is. So now here it's a quarry. It's basically double resource income. Basically whatever income that you receive in this area, you'll get double that. So it's very nice. So for this one, I'm just gonna go with a double resource income, and yeah. So this is a post-battle. This is the post-battle event, and the Chun Empire is basically going away. They're basically escaping Beijing, which was their capital, and they're going over to their kind of back frontier planets. And Rinfa was captured. So because I had completely annihilated her fleet, Rinfa once again was the Chinese girl in the red dress, and because I had annihilated her fleet, I can capture her. BGM is awesome. So here, Big Sorge is kind of disappointed in, or he's not really disappointed, but he was surprised by Japan's power once Beijing got invaded, and he's going to retreat back to Russia, basically, what's basically Russia, and he's going to basically revise his plans to kind of spread communism throughout the world, and he's gonna come back later. You'll see him sometime. So phase events. Now this is the phase after battle events. So the phase kind of turns go like this. First you've got your strategy phase, then you've got your strategy phase, you got your battle phase if you're partaking in any battle, and then you've got your event phase. This is your event phase, and you can talk to different events as you wish. You can talk to anyone that you can see here. Some of them, though, are not very good. I will advise you to stay away from them if you can. I will point them out as we go along. So now here you can see that all these are new because we just started the game, and these are the first. This is the first kind of event, like event, whatever it is, event screen, and yeah. One thing to note though, I can't speak today, god damn it, is that every event that has this little pink highlight and the square with the H heart in it, that's a porn scene. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you're playing in a public area, you might not want to click on this. So yeah. Unfortunately though, because this event is very significant towards what I want to get for this commander right here, Togoshi, I have to click on this. And the H scene isn't even that good. It's just him banging a lolly. And so I don't dig lollies. Sorry. I'm just not into that. So once again, I'm going to cut the video here, and hopefully we will see you guys next time.